Nestled in the quiet, wooded outskirts of Eureka, Missouri, the Holiday Inn at Six Flags is known as a place to stay for families visiting the nearby amusement park. Its convenient location, just a stone's throw away from roller coasters and carnival games, makes it an ideal spot for weary travelers. Yet, beneath its cheerful facade, the hotel hides an unsettling secret, one whispered about by staff and guests alike for decades. The hotel, built in the late 1970s, was initially designed to accommodate the growing number of tourists flocking to Six Flags. For years, it operated smoothly, becoming a reliable stop for thrill seekers and vacationers. However, as time passed, strange rumors began to swirl. Guests started reporting unusual occurrences, sightings of figures in empty hallways, doors closing on their own, and unsettling feelings of being watched. While many dismissed these stories as mere figments of overactive imaginations or the result of long days in the sun, some of the events were harder to explain. Particularly chilling was the number of reports that seemed to center on room 422, an otherwise ordinary room that, for reasons unknown, became a focal point for paranormal activity. It was in room 422 where a traveling salesman named Tom Patterson had one of the most terrifying experiences recorded at the hotel. In 1998, Patterson checked into the Holiday Inn during a business trip. After a long day of meetings and driving, he was looking forward to nothing more than a peaceful night's sleep. But peace would evade him that night. Around midnight, Patterson woke to the sound of faint tapping, almost like someone was gently knocking on his door. Groggy and disoriented, he brushed it off as a sound from the hallway. He rolled over and tried to fall back asleep, but the tapping persisted, growing louder and more insistent. He finally got up, opened the door, and found nothing. The hallway was deserted. Assuming it was a prank, he returned to bed, only to be awakened again, this time by a sharp, loud banging on the bathroom door inside his room. Confused, Patterson cautiously approached the bathroom, his heart racing. He called out, expecting to hear someone respond, but there was only silence. As he reached for the door handle, it suddenly flew open, slamming against the wall with a force that sent shivers down his spine. No one was there. The bathroom was empty, but the air inside felt unnaturally cold, as if the temperature had dropped by several degrees in a matter of seconds. Terrified, Patterson grabbed his belongings and fled the room, spending the rest of the night in the hotel lobby. The next morning, he recounted his experience to the front desk staff, only to be met with knowing looks. They apologized but offered little explanation, except for a quiet remark that some guests have strange experiences in that room. Patterson never stayed at the hotel again. The origins of the hauntings in room 422 and the hotel at large are murky at best. Some speculate that the land the hotel was built on may have been cursed or haunted long before the construction began. According to local legends, the area was once the site of an old homestead, and there are whispers of a family tragedy that occurred there in the 1800s. The details are sparse, but it is said that a mother and her 2 children perished in a house fire, and their spirits have never found peace. Some believe that the woman in white, often seen by guests, may be the spirit of that mother, still searching for her lost children. One of the eeriest aspects of the hauntings is how often they involve children. Over the years, several young guests have reported seeing a woman dressed in white, usually standing by the window or near the foot of the bed. Most of these children describe her as sad, but not frightening, though her presence often leaves an unsettling impression on their parents. One particularly memorable account came from the Smith family, who stayed at the hotel during a family vacation in the early 2000s. Their daughter, Emma, who was 7 at the time, began acting strangely shortly after they arrived. She refused to sleep in her own bed, instead insisting on sharing her parents' bed because the lady in white was watching her. At first, her parents thought it was just a child's imagination, perhaps influenced by too many ghost stories or movies. But when they asked her to describe the lady, Emma gave an unnervingly detailed account. She said the lady was dressed in an old-fashioned gown. Her face was pale, and her eyes looked sad. She also said the lady would sometimes cry softly, her tears leaving streaks on her ghostly face. The parents grew increasingly uncomfortable as Emma insisted she had seen the woman more than once, always near the window, looking out as though she were waiting for someone. The final straw came when the family woke up in the middle of the night to the sound of the bathroom faucet running full blast. When they investigated, they found the bathroom door locked from the inside. After finally managing to open it, they were shocked to find the bathroom empty, but the mirror was covered in condensation, despite there being no steam from the faucet. They checked out early the next morning, unwilling to stay another night. The hotel staff have their own stories to tell. Many longtime employees have experienced things they can't explain. One housekeeper, who had been with the hotel for over 15 years, shared her experience of working late one night, cleaning rooms on the third floor. As she was cleaning one of the unoccupied rooms, she distinctly heard the sound of children laughing in the hallway. Thinking it was a group of young guests playing, she stepped out to tell them to quiet down. But the hallway was empty. Confused, she went back to her work, only to hear the laughter again, this time right outside the door. When she peeked out, there was still no one there. She quickly finished her shift and left the hotel, shaken by the experience. Another employee, a night security guard, reported seeing strange lights on the security cameras. On multiple occasions, he witnessed what appeared to be orbs of light moving through the hallways, particularly near the older wings of the hotel. These orbs would flicker and fade, sometimes moving in erratic patterns. Though skeptical of ghosts, he couldn't find any logical explanation for the lights, and they didn't correspond to any known sources of reflection or interference. What's more unnerving is that there have been reports of deaths at the hotel, though these have mostly been accidents or medical incidents. In the 1990s, a guest was found dead in his room from an apparent heart attack, though some staff believe his death may have been caused by fright. A few years later, another guest reportedly drowned in the hotel pool under mysterious circumstances, though no foul play was ever confirmed. These incidents have only fueled the ghost stories, with many believing that the spirits of the deceased guests now haunt the hotel as well. Today, the Holiday Inn continues to operate as a popular family destination, with most guests enjoying their stay without incident. But for those who are sensitive to the supernatural, the hotel remains a place of intrigue, where the past seems to linger just beneath the surface, waiting to make itself known. Whether you believe in ghosts or not, one thing is certain. This hotel has left a lasting impression on all who visit, in ways both seen and unseen. If you ever find yourself at the Holiday Inn, perhaps staying in room 422, don't be surprised if you hear a faint knock in the middle of the night, or catch a glimpse of a woman in white by the window. It might just be one of the hotel's long-standing residents checking in on you from the other side.